exploitative individual. I will plot on you. That's right. And that's why I'm going into season 11. And he's changing Pampers.
Kevin Hunter, Wendy Williams' ex-husband, has definitely learned his lesson the hard way. Wendy had finally had enough of his nonsense and played both him and his girlfriend, Sharina Hudson, like a fiddle. And now, word on the street is that Kevin and Sharina are broke and allegedly begging for Wendy's mercy now. Before anyone jumps to call Wendy the bitter ex, let's lay out the facts. Kevin reportedly started dating Sharina back in 2007 while he was still very much married to Wendy. So yes, he was cheating on her. But it doesn't stop there. Kevin was allegedly using Wendy's money to fund his secret relationship with Sharina. He even went so far as to buy Sharina a house worth $765,000 just 9 miles from the home he shared with Wendy. And let's be honest, Kevin didn't really have his own money like that.
I read about it in the blogs and the tabloids, the address of this place that he had purchased to share with this backwoods 9 miles from my house in Livingston. And they're living.
Well, I don't know what is .t the time. Wendy knew about Kevin's affair, but she chose to stay with him on one condition: no children outside the marriage. Listen, I'll never understand that arrangement, but hey, that was her boundary. Insiders say the only reason Kevin didn't leave Wendy sooner was because he and Sharina were financially dependent on her. But of course, that didn't last long. Kevin ended up getting Sharina pregnant, and they had a baby girl. That was the final straw for Wendy. If there was one thing she couldn't tolerate, it was the humiliation of her husband having a child with another woman. She could overlook the cheating, but playing stepmother to his love child? Absolutely not. So she filed for divorce in April 2019. And let's just say, the divorce proceedings confirmed what many already believed: Kevin was a gold digger from the jump. He requested alimony and even child support from Wendy. Yes, child support, even though their only son was already an adult. He got clowned big time for that one. It was clear he was just grasping at straws, looking for any way to keep getting Wendy's money. Unsurprisingly, the court denied the child support request. But Wendy did agree to pay him some form of alimony. The exact amount hasn't been disclosed, but it had to be significant, because Kevin doesn't really work anymore. That money is what kept him afloat and allowed him and Sharina to open a few businesses. For a while, Kevin and Sharina were living just fine after the divorce. Wendy's money was still coming in, and they were enjoying a pretty comfortable lifestyle. But once Wendy's talk show got cancelled and the money dried up, panic set in. Because let's be honest, what else were they going to do besides live off her? And here's where Wendy really played her hand. According to Kevin, the first time she truly blindsided him was the day she served those divorce papers. He said, "When the news broke, I told her I'd step down from the show, but she said I needed to stay because we were having a kid. I stayed only to later be lined up." That day, he got fired from his management role, served divorce papers, and kicked off the show all in one blow. Talk about a plot twist.
I don't recommend that you work with your husband, because I made him my manager, and then when I decided to divorce him, he had to be fired. In other words, I made him divorced and unemployed all in one day.
Wendy Williams is petty AF, and honestly, I'm so here for it. In a recent interview, Kevin Hunter had the nerve to say, as the husband of 20 plus years and the creator of the Wendy Williams show, I was entitled to my half, just like any other divorcing couple. I came to the table in good faith, and we reached what I thought was an amicable agreement. In fact, it was one of the fastest celebrity divorces ever. Kevin claimed he had suspicions about Wendy's Wells Fargo financial advisor, but was assured by his attorneys that everything was fine. Well, he should have listened to his gut, because Wendy played him hard, and he never saw it coming. Let's be real, Kevin was probably so eager to start collecting that monthly check that he didn't even bother to read the fine print. If he had, he would have seen the clause that said Wendy wasn't obligated to keep paying alimony if she was no longer working. And as we all know, Wendy hasn't worked for more than a year now. She missed the final season of her own talk show due to serious physical and mental health issues, Graves' disease complications, COVID, and even a stay in a psychiatric facility. Eventually, the show was cancelled altogether. No more Wendy show, no more income. And that meant her financial team stopped sending Kevin those comfy monthly alimony checks. Kevin? Oh, he was mad. He said Wendy was in rehab, and these people just stopped depositing my money, cold turkey. Now I'm demanding access to all bank records from the divorce until now to expose what's really going on. These people are trying to starve me out. I earned that money, and I'm not letting it go. But here's the thing, Kevin's heartbreak over Wendy's situation feels disingenuous. He says it breaks his heart to see her like this, surrounded by people taking advantage of her, including her court-appointed guardian. But let's be honest, this is clearly about one thing: money payments stopped in February 2022. The divorce agreement, signed in January 2020, clearly states that if Wendy's contract was not renewed or her show was cancelled, and if she wasn't receiving a comparable salary elsewhere, then severance payments, aka alimony, could be terminated or adjusted. What does that mean? It means Wendy kept those checks coming for nearly a year even though she wasn't working or making money. That's actually generous. So, respectfully, Kevin and Sharina need to get up, get out, and get jobs, because Wendy's ATM is officially out of service. The real kicker? Kevin is now crying broke. He says, "I've fallen behind on bills. I live in a community with HOA fees and I'm behind. If I don't pay, they'll foreclose. My car insurance hasn't been paid. I can't cover my credit cards. I need hip surgery but can't afford it, and I can't even get health insurance because I don't have income. My life has been severely impacted by the end of Wendy's payments. And I'm sorry, but what? You mean to tell me the self-proclaimed mastermind behind the Wendy Williams show hasn't worked a single day since the divorce? If you were such a genius, why didn't you create another hit show? Start a new venture? Cash in on your experience?" Nope, Kevin chose to live off Wendy. And she played the long game. The agreement was clear. She gave him time. She gave him money. But she wasn't about to go broke for someone who cheated on her, publicly humiliated her, and then tried to make her finance his new lifestyle with Sharina. Now, he's taking this back to court, but honestly, it's unlikely he'll win. The agreement is airtight. And people are not here for his pity party. The internet is roasting him, with comments like, "Wendy is a masterclass in petty. She dog-walked him, and I'm living for it. Kevin and his mistress need to get jobs, period. She gave him more than enough time. Now he's reaping what he sowed. He needs to pawn Sharina's diamond ring and pay his HOA dues." Honestly, Wendy strategized this. She let that show go down, quietly honored her side of the agreement, and waited for the right moment to cut the cord. She knew exactly what she was doing. Petty? Maybe. Genius? Absolutely. She's the queen of long game revenge, and I'm living for the drama. But if you think this was wild, you have to check out the next video. It's your girl Kiki, with the hottest tea piece, teacup with handle nail polish.